2017 has been a deadly year in Tijuana. The Baja California Attorney General's office says there were 1,000 homicide victims so far this year. That number already surpasses last year's total of 910 in this city of 1.8 million residents. During just 1 week in August, 48 people lost their lives in homicides. That's nearly the same total of homicide victims in San Diego all of last year. Officials and community leaders say these crimes are largely linked to the domestic drug trade.
It's a criminal problem, they're affecting each other. There is a war among cartels. It's not the best image that we want for our city.
There is a war taking place at the bottom of the pyramid among street drug dealers.
The common citizen is worried. We have also experienced some collateral damages, small kids, who get caught on the crossfire. But on an overall basis, it's more related to a criminal activity.
The victims in the first week of August reflected an overall trend. Most were men between 20 and 40 years of age. Most were shot to death. The flood of victims has overwhelmed homicide investigators. Nearly 9 out of 10 crimes go unsolved. One of the reasons for that is that in cases involving drug disputes, family members and witnesses often refuse to cooperate. The city's Red Cross, which responds to 98% of Tijuana's ambulance calls, has handled twice as many shootings as last year. In many cases, the victims are already dead by the time the ambulance arrives.
The root of the problem in Mexico and in Tijuana is the addiction to illegal drugs. So we have a real problem. We used to be only a country that export drugs, but right now some of our people are unfortunately addicts to drugs.
Extortions and kidnappings are down. Authorities say homicides are largely relegated to vast outlying working-class neighborhoods. These are places with too few parks and police, but too many guns, drugs, and profound social needs. Many of the killings are taking place in broad daylight. People have become desensitized to the grisly scenes. Kids continue to ride their bikes and play in the street, while others go on about their daily lives. Authorities say the violence has risen in neighborhoods that are havens for methamphetamine. A dose sells for 50 pesos. That's less than $3.
In the past, the main drug that was used in Tijuana was marijuana. And now the problem is methamphetamines. So that's a real hard drug. The problem is that the drug consumption is related to committing crimes because a person that is addicted to meth cannot work, cannot do legal things. So in order to gain money to buy more drugs, he has to commit crimes.
State investigators agree that drugs are a common thread. Nearly 80% of the victims have some kind of criminal record, typically for crimes involving drugs, carrying a firearm, car theft, or gang activity. And nearly 85% of suspects are linked to the neighborhood drug trade. Officials say this problem is not going to be solved with weapons or by police or the homicide unit. They say it's going to take the entire community to come together and address this issue. In Tijuana, I'm Luis Cruz reporting for the San Diego Union-Tribune.